Hey, beautiful thrivers. I am live on YouTube. Is anybody there? We'll wait for people to come into the room, and I just want you to know that you can hear me okay. Just having a lovely cup of tea. Great conversation we're going to be having today. Okay, I've just heard that we can hear okay, and we have people in. Love to know where you're from. I think we do have the chat going. All right, so it's going to take a little while before I haven't actually done. Hey, Snow Queen, beautiful to see you. I actually haven't done a Facebook Live. How crazy is that? Done Instagram and lots of Facebook Lives, but no, this is so good. Casey, I'm great today. How are you? Hi, Kathleen. Hi from Dumbo, Brooklyn. What a great conversation we're going to be having today, which is okay, Sarah, stop spinning. We're going to be talking about beyond abuse, one of my most favorite topics. Yeah. Hi. Hey, this is working. I'm always excited when new technology works. So it's not new. It's quite usual for most people, but I'm not great with technology, so it's wonderful. Hi, Heather. Hi, Sharon. So we've got Virginia. We've got lots of people from the US, which is great. Have we got any Aussies in at the moment as well? Sarah from Texas. Cindy, beautiful to see you. This is awesome. Fantastic. Casey, I'm so glad that my videos have helped. And thank you for sharing that with me. Kathleen, it's beautiful that we can connect. And how cool is this? This is a really good message feed. I'm on my laptop. I'm usually on my phone. Jay Pinkman is an Aussie. Whereabouts from Australia are you from? Okay, Sydney. Sydney, sweet baby. Oh, gosh, we're getting quite a few people in. We're, this is going to be up afterwards as well, which is so, so good. So, you know what? I think we're going to get going. And what's going to be great about today is we're going to be able to do some question and answer as well and be able to deeply dive into this topic, because this is about true thriving, and that's what I'm going to be talking to you about. And before I even get into this conversation, I just want you to know that I have a really exciting workshop coming up if you haven't heard about it. I'm just going to check the correct dates again, because apart from technology, I'm not great with remembering dates. Don't ask me to remember the date of your birthday. That's why I have a Google Calendar. Okay, so February the 17th and February the 18th for Australia, New Zealand, I'm going to be doing a Beyond Abuse workshop, which is one of my most favorite workshops to do, because what this is, and it's a completely free workshop, it's 2.5 hours, where we deeply dive into unblocking the barriers that you've had after abuse to the things that your heart truly wants, things like love, mission, purpose, being able to generate prosperity, all of those things. Because this was such an important thing to me, was to not just recover from narcissistic abuse and get the narcissist completely out of my system, but to say, okay, all of these things that I thought I was going to have with the narcissist, which clearly ended up being highly compromised and traumatized, was to be able to generate them for real in my life. And absolutely, I was able to do that. I now have the most incredible love in my life. Oh, and do you know what, everybody? I have to introduce you to, just hang on one sec. You're going to like this. Hang on. Hey. Okay, that didn't work. They ran off. You'll see them. They ran up the stairs and they came up in here. They were downstairs. Those of you who loved Tiggy TV, who loved Tiggy, my darling, beautiful pussycat that passed away last year, I now have 2 new babies, Chloe and Ruby. And as soon as they're not camera shy, you're going to be able to get to see them. I can't wait to introduce you. We all know after losing a beloved pet, it takes time before you're ready to go again, and you wait till you see them. They're just so new kitties. They're just adorable. They're only 7 weeks old. They're doing really well, and they're just amazing. So beautiful. Okay, so into this conversation. So this Beyond Abuse workshop, and I just want to tell you where you can go to it. We're going to put up the link in this description, and also, share it in the chat as well. But I really want you. Okay, so it's You Can Thrive Program, youcanthriveprogram.com/Beyond Abuse. You Can Thrive Program, all the one word, .com/Beyond Abuse. And this is one of my most favorite workshops to do, because this is about claiming your soul truth and your soul right for an incredible, amazing life. And we're going to talk about some of those barriers today and exactly what it is that's holding you back. And thank you, team, for putting up that link. This is brilliant. Okay, so what happens to so many of us after abuse is that even when, and it's so important to get the narcissist out of your system, detox the narcissist, and get yourself to a space where it's like, okay, I'm out of survival, I'm into peace, I may have lost a lot, because that's what happens in narcissistic abuse. We lose a lot of stuff, okay? Narcissistic abuse is one of the most expensive lessons that we have on this planet, I believe. And we know narcissists are parasites, and they suck our resources, our energy, our life force, our stuff, our money. After narcissistic abuse, the goal is to get to a place where we heal the trauma out of our system, and we find peace, well-being, and wholeness, and we finally come home to that we're in acceptance, we're in love with self, we're cleaning out the traumas of our body, we're getting happy in our skin, in our body, and in life. And generally what that means is we have, in physical material terms, we have a reduced experience, but as far as in soul wealth, we have finally come home, and we have realized that the relationship with others and with life completely and utterly depends on the relationship that we're having with our inner being. So we've turned from being our most terrible conditional critic into somebody that can self-soothe and can self-love, and also can create wonderful boundary functions with life, so that no longer are we terrified about, am I going to get smashed in life? We are deeply invested in working on, I can show up in my power, in my truth. I'm going to listen to my intuition. I'm going to ask the difficult questions. I am going to lay boundaries. And I'm going to say to people in life, on all levels of life, no deal. And if people are abusive, and if they cross my boundaries, I am actually going to say to them, I'm going to say, my truth here is, this is my values. Step up to meet me, or we're done. And this is how we've got a platform from which we can build on. Now, all of that is the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Program work, NARP. And you may hear me bang on about it. You may have also seen so many people in this community on all of my channels that say NARP this and NARP that, and NARP changed my life, and NARP is such a key component of being able to get these horrible traumas out of narcissistic abuse, purge them out of your system, the obsessive thoughts go, you're able to no longer be abused by the narcissist, lay boundaries, and find peace within. You get a grand reset to your life and your soul. Now, what I'm talking about today, Beyond Abuse, is the next step. So for those of you that are still very much in the obsessive thoughts, which is so normal, and you're still really battling with the narcissistic abuse, I really want to say to you that it is most important for you to have a look at NARP. and have a look at my 3 Keys webinar, which is another free event, which is going to explain so much of the deeper stuff to you as to why it's been hard to recover, what your struggles with recovery have been, and how you can align with a powerful, true recovery. So I really want you to define yourself right here and now. The people who are here and the people that are going to watch this as a replay. You really need to be honest with yourself. You can say, okay, I do now have peace. I'm no longer suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder and agoraphobia and all the horrible things that go with narcissistic abuse. I've done the inner work and I've got the narcissist out of my life. Yes, things may crop up, but I'm not in the obsession. I'm not in that kind of level of trauma, and I'm ready for the next step, or I am still in that trauma. So you need to be very, very clear, because you can't build a condominium on a swamp. You cannot put ice cream on top of poop. We can't start flying to the moon when we haven't got on our feet yet. And getting on your feet is NARP. I want you to be very, very clear about that. So if anybody wants to look up NARP, you can, very simple link, you can go to melanietoniaevans.com/NARP, NARP, NARP, or you can also go to my 3 Keys webinar, another free event, which is going to give you an enormous amount of healing, relief, and clarity. Go to melanietoniaevans.com/free webinar. It's all the one word. Okay. So now, Truth Seeker's just come up with a really good comment. How do we overcome the years wasted on suffering? Once we overcome this, do we stop thinking of it as a loss? I promise you this, Truth Seeker, from the bottom of my heart. When you do the inner work with NARP, you will come home to such a peace and such a reconciliation that you then have the foundation to go forth. And when you go forth from narcissistic abuse, after you've mated with your soul into reconciliation, then you have a spiritual compensation that when you go forward, you will go forward far in excess of what you ever did even previous to narcissistic abuse. Why can I say this with conviction? Because I've experienced it personally, and I've seen it happen with thousands of people in this community that have unlocked their true magnificence, which has to start with all of the resolution, the peace, and the healing. Okay, that's the foundation, and that's what NARP does. So I really want to, now we've cordoned that off, let's look at beyond abuse. So this is for the people that are saying, what is next? In other words, I'm not still obsessing. I feel like I've come such a long way, but I want more. And we should want more, because that is your soul saying hi. And your soul saying hi is all of your most delicious desires, which are part of source expressing through you as you. We've just got barriers stopping it. They are the things like, I would love to have safe, healthy love. I would love to have my mission and my purpose expose itself to me and have the opportunities to express it. I would love to be able to not have to struggle to get food on the table or a roof over my mouth. Food in my mouth and a roof over my head, so that I can actually live to work and do rather than work to live. So, and we all want that. And also too, of course, you want to have healthy relationships in all of your life and healthy connections with human beings, rather than be terrified of them and scared of them and looking out for narcissists all the time and having defense mechanisms and fears and closing ourselves away. We want to interact. We want to be in life. We want to expand. Okay. You laughed, Sonia. That's lovely. Okay. So how does that sound to you? I just want to check in with you guys right now and find out where you're at on your journey of your next stages. Just let me know. Yeah, okay. Malou's talking about 5D, and yes, we are ascending to 5D. And what do I think will happen with nuts and other toxic energies? It's a really interesting big conversation for another day. And I'm going to be talking about that in the future, absolutely. Okay, healing abandonment wounds. Chase, you're saying I'm accepting 1 month no contact. Okay, I'm a mess and I don't know where I am. You know, that's so honest, Sonia, darling. And I really want you to have a look at NARP. I really want you to have a look at my 3 keys webinar. Write this down. If you're still hurting, it's a free event. It's going to help you so much. We do a deep healing in it too, which is going to give you clarity, peace, and start giving you your sanity and your soul back. So go to melanietoniaevans.com/free webinar. For those of you that are really stuck in the obsession still. Maya Bell, I feel like I'm dying. I'm very lonely. That's definitely a NARP case. It's not this conversation, but mind you, once you've done NARP for a few months, then this conversation is going to be your conversation and you won't be able to wait for it. Okay. Okay, I feel good on my own, but feeling my trust issues. Shay, this is a conversation for you, definitely. You're looking forward to dating again, Leslie. This is such the conversation for you. Trying to introduce new fun hobbies. Yep. Okay, Edna was saying NARP saved my life. So this is definitely a conversation for you. You've done that inner work. Yeah. And even those of you that you may be not ready for this, still come into the workshop anyway, because it's really going to give you what you can look forward to. But I really want to tell you, don't build a condominium on top of a swamp, because the condominium is going to sink. And then you just have to go back to that stuff anyway. Okay. All right. I'm ready to move on. Okay, Samantha. Okay, good. Thank you, Mel. Accepting but still hurting. Open up to love relationships again. Yeah. And Carolina, you know, I really want to say to you guys, if you're really still in fear, you know, and how you know, if you think about your past stuff and you've still got triggers, you've still got traumas in your body about it, this is not this conversation. This conversation is very much, and that's the NARP and the free webinar. This conversation is, yeah, I think about it and I've done so much inner work on it, which is NARP, really, in only a few months, that I just don't even feel it anymore. I'm not obsessing about it. Yeah, things can trigger occasionally, but generally, and I'm kind of flatline and I want more, but I can't feel it. I can't expand into the feeling of love. You know, I would love prosperity in my mission, but I don't know. Like, I'd like to buy a house, but I can't connect to it. I don't trust myself. I don't really have the confidence. I don't know how to get out there and make it happen. That's this conversation. Because a lot of people, when they've done the deep healing from narcissistic abuse and really got rid of the victimization and the traumatization and the obsessions and the PTSD and the fibromyalgias and all the body functions that are reflecting abuse, once the trauma gets out of your body and well-being comes in, you reset back to a place of wholeness and oneness. That's the first step. And NARP does that powerfully like nothing else I know of. The pain is gone. That's what NARP does. Now, after that, it's like, okay, but now I feel a bit empty and I feel a bit lost. And this is good, but I want great. That's this conversation. That's what Beyond Abuse is about. So especially the people in here that have done NARP, or even if you're still working with NARP, you can toggle backwards and forwards. Okay, this conversation is for you. And also the people that have done, you know, the inner work in other ways where you're no longer feeling traumatized. This is this conversation as well. But it's also something to look forward to, all of you. Now, what I want to talk about today, what I want to ask you is, from the people that are in here that are ready for that, what is it that you want to create? We had a lovely lady who just said that she's ready, she wants to date. Great conversation for here. Okay, because that's going to be all about boundaries and how can you keep yourself safe, which is a big part of the Beyond Abuse work, where we look at three specific key aspects of boundaries, what they really are, how you can show up as a boundary beast no matter what human being you're interacting with, and completely be conscious and safe and easily flush them out if they are narcissistic, because that gives you so much confidence in life, not just with dating, also with business or with friendships, with any interaction that you're doing. Okay. I want to move on with my life and not hurt anymore. Yeah, that's a NARP conversation. I want to attract my husband and walk in my purpose. Beautiful, Felicia. This is so this conversation. It definitely is. I want to look at him and say, I don't want that. Samantha, it's such a beautiful day when you wake up and you go, oh, God, yuck, and that's NARP. That's the inner work with NARP. Yeah. It's kind of like if you get really healthy and you look at a really greasy hamburger or fairy floss or something and you go, oh, that's just not for me. The NARP work brings that with narcissists. You become so unattracted. It's not funny. You couldn't even imagine it. Okay. So I've just put up the link to NARP so that you guys can go into there and check it out. Because if you're battling, if you're struggling, that is the thing that is going to get you really resolved and healing very, very quickly. Okay, beautiful. All right, Lucille, I'm experiencing, oh God, Lucille, honey, I just broke up with my boyfriend. Am I experiencing panic? Not even my medication is working, feeling like I'm dying. Please, Lucille, today, ASAP, sign up for my free webinar. Sign up for it. Okay. All right, let's put up the link to that as well, because I really want you guys, it's completely free. You're going to get healing, clarity, and relief very quickly. Yeah. Snow Queen, it is difficult with what's going on in the world. It really is. And this is why we've got to get aligned. We've got to be our own power source. We really have to be the generator and creator of our own experience, no matter what's going on out there. More than ever, we need to get aligned with source and empowered. Oh, Casey, I want to be independent and be the best version of myself that I can be. This is this conversation. Okay. All right, within this conversation and what we're going to be looking at in the webinar is there are, the thing is, I'll tell you about my story. I'd always been successful all of my life. I'd always been able to make money, but I had Achilles heels. This is before narcissistic abuse, but I had Achilles heels in my life where I would get very, very successful, then something would happen and I would lose it all. And I'd be back to the struggle of life. I also had struggles with addictions. Cigarettes were huge for me, and that was a big self-sabotage in my life. And absolutely, relationships. I struggled with personal relationships, especially intimate relationships. So what would happen with me is there'd be nobody that I was really attracted to. That would take forever, and then there would be, and then I'd get with that person, and then I'd find they don't have the same values as me, and I'm just talking about things like kindness, decency, respect, just honesty, transparency. So then there would start all of this battle, and it would end up disappointing and of course narcissistic, and I'd be back in narcissistic abuse again. I had, and those were really, and also too, I had this horror of trying to speak up and be myself. It's like if I am myself, I'm either going to be criticized, rejected, abandoned, punished, or annihilated. And these were traumas that were affecting my life very, very badly. Now, after narcissistic abuse, those of you who don't know me, and I know a lot of you do, I went through a life and death experience where I had a psychotic adrenal breakdown that I was told I would never recover from. I was told I would need 3 antipsychotics for the rest of my life, even to be able to breathe and function at probably half the capacity if I was lucky. And I was told that I would possibly never be able to work again. So I thought life was over, etc., etc. Now, fast forward, I had an epiphany. I had an incredible spiritual experience where I was literally shown that what had happened to me had to be healed from the inside out in a quantum way. And it led me to an 18-month journey that was incredible, that led to quantum freedom healing, which led to the NARP program. And I was literally able to heal aspects of myself that were deemed medically impossible to heal. And apart from that, I didn't just survive what I went through, I ended up being a far superior being to who I was even before it happened to me. The reason? Because I was able to heal the broken programs and traumas that have been running my life. And I ended up with 0 PTSD, 0 fibromyalgia, 0 agoraphobia, 0 adrenal malfunction. I'm the healthiest. I ended up the healthiest I've ever been. Now I'm 54 years of age, and people who knew me back then believe I look younger than I did then. And the reason is because of getting trauma out of my cells and getting life force in and letting source flow through me as me, which is our higher power, which is consciousness, God, your super conscious, whatever you want to call it, it actually wants the highest and the best for us, because that is the idea in God's mind, or this higher power mind, is of well-being and our highest potential in every area of our life. Now, how do we know what our highest potential is? It's what we want. It's what we want. It's our soul saying hi in agreement with our higher potential, with God's source, higher consciousness. Now, I was able to understand a way to get my traumas out of the way to allow in who I really am. And that's what healed me from narcissistic abuse. That's what NARP is. So I really, those of you who are battling with all the terrible, horrible stuff, you know, narcissistic abuse is like a psychic infiltration that is literally like you have got a deadly psychic virus inside your body. It's like a black ink. It's like, it's indescribable unless you've gone through it. You feel like you are permeated and the narcissist is living inside of you. That happens to everybody that goes through this at a significant level. If you are suffering that, please go to NARP. Go to NARP, because it will free you from all of that. Okay, so that's what I did in my life. I lost everything on a physical, you know, commercial, financial level. I ended up, however, in my humble existence, I ended up the happiest I've ever been. I finally came home to the love and the oneness and the union that I've been looking for my whole life, which was between me, self, and source. And then after that, I wanted more. And you see, the thing was, for me in the past, even before narcissistic abuse, I would get things, I would lose things, I'd battle with addictions, love went wrong. And of course, you know, when I thought that all of that was sorted and I had my dream life, I had this big bad narcissist attached to it, which was so traumatic. It's not just traumatic because you lose the love you think you have, it's because you're losing the life that you think you should be having or that is yours. Everything in narcissistic abuse gets dismantled. You know that. I know that. We've all been through it. It's horrific. So, of course, even after healing from all the PTSD and everything and coming home to wholeness and oneness in my body and feeling the best I'd ever felt, the thought of moving forward was like scary. It was scary. And it felt like I was talking to an alien. Like, I can't feel that. I don't know what that looks like. And I didn't realize at the time, but there were so many beliefs in my system that were highly compromised from my past and the narcissistic abuse. And they were just part of my subconscious programming. Now, the hugely important thing about subconscious programming is that it is running 40 bits per second on our operating system as a human being, and our conscious mind is only operating 40 bits per second. So what do you think is running your life? It's the subconscious programs that you've taken on through your emotional experiences. So it doesn't matter what you try to think. It's actually what you feel about any topic, which is going to determine exactly how your life is unfolding. Because how you feel is how you think. How you think is the choices you make. And the choices you make represent the people and the situations and the opportunities that are going to be a direct match for your subconscious programs. So any of our compromised areas on our life, such as finances, my big beliefs on that were that life is a struggle. You have to work hard. You have to earn your place and your approval and your success. So what would happen is I'd just be getting into this beautiful flow of prosperity, and time is value. Having time and still having prosperity, then it would self-sabotage, and I would be back to having to work to 18 to 20 to 22 hours a day to be successful. I'd have to start again. I did that 3 times. So things like relationships, there's nobody out there that floats my boat. Oh, okay, all right, there's enough that I can tick on the box here. Let's give it a go. And then they don't have the same values. And I'm like, what is this? Why is love for everybody else, but it's not for me? Because I had the belief systems that if I'm in love, I'm going to get annihilated by the person I love, right? So it was a lot easier for me to get with people that I didn't really love. Does it make sense? Now, I didn't know these things. I didn't know these things. Now, my things may not be your things, but all of us have deep inner hidden barriers that no matter how hard we try to push out of them, and I know a lot of you in this community are highly intelligent, I know you're highly motivated, and I know you have tried your butt off to break through, because narcissists don't go for lazy, unintelligent people. They go for people that are highly intelligent, hardworking, and people that try. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be with them. So, we have a community here of you people, of highly capable people with incredible capacity, desire, heart, soul, and energy. You just haven't been able to unleash it because of these limiting barriers and programs that are stuck within you, wedged inside you, that are kind of like a kill switch. They just won't let you go there. So what's so exciting? Now, this was such a beautiful journey for me because I did NARP, and I've already defied medical diagnoses and conditions that were making my life unbearable. And I found the most joy, happiness, and peace I'd ever had in my life. And I had the most genuine stuff I'd ever had in my life, with people and connections and mission, and all of that was unfolding. And that's what happens when we do the NARP journey, I promise you. But I wanted more. I wanted a life partner. I really did. I wanted to not have to work so hard. I wanted to be able to travel the world. Okay, that's a bit restricted at the moment. I wanted to be able to, I wanted stuff. I wanted prosperity, not to give me my identity, just so that I could expand my identity. I already had the wealth of my soul, but I wanted more. I wanted real estate portfolio. I wanted to expand and see where I could take my life. So I got to work on it. And as NARP was, Beyond Abuse was a very channeled experience. See, this is one of the benefits of when I had the complete psychotic breakdown. Sometimes I think we have to be out of our mind to know the real truth. I started having profound channeling experiences. I was taught how to create NARP through those experiences. And the same happened with Beyond Abuse. And what I discovered is that there are three lots of foundational core beliefs that all of us suffer from. And the first one is our connection with source, this higher power, which is our superconscious, which is the field, and it is able to connect us up with the inspiration from within, which is essential. It only happens when we get the trauma and the false beliefs out of the way. And it was also then it also connects us with opportunity, synchronicity, circumstances, events, and miracles that actually match the new program, which is source filled. That's when things start unlocking that we can't even imagine. So, it's not just about, and this is why it doesn't work. It's not just about doing our affirmations and doing our meditations and doing our visualizations and even creating vision boards. It's not, I'm not a fan of law of attraction for people that have suffered from abuse trauma. The reason being, you have an abuse trauma in your body that is that kill switch. It's keeping you safe. It's saying to me, Melanie, you can't get into a relationship that you're in love with somebody because you'll get annihilated. So let's make sure you're not in love. That kill switch of that if I hit prosperity and fulfillment, well then, because you actually really believe that life is a struggle and you don't deserve and you have to earn approval and you have to earn success, then it's going to go back to being that. These are the traumas, these are the beliefs that we've accumulated in our life. And the biggie for all of us after narcissistic abuse, my dreams and what I want are all wrapped up in devastation, disaster, and annihilation. So why do you think you can't get to your dreams? It's huge. Your body, your cellular belief systems, they're not logical. They don't go, well, that's crap. It just is what it is. And they say, okay, well, we're never going to go forward into the hope of that success because all of that nasty stuff comes with it. So the connection with source is essential. We have to fix that up because so many of us think that we're cursed and God doesn't want to give us the good stuff. And maybe we're bad and we're defective and we don't deserve. We also have really compromised beliefs about how other people will be in our life if we are successful. Are we going to be a target? Are these people going to reject, criticize, abandon, or punish us when we start reflecting and shining our true self? Are we going to leave people behind and we're going to feel really guilty that maybe our mum and our dad never made it? And we have beliefs that it's not okay for us to shine more than them. And then we have those deep inner beliefs about ourselves that are just so compromised. So what happens in this Beyond Abuse workshop is I take you through processes. We have 2.5 hours where I'm going to put you, we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs too. It's cool. But what we do is, and we have lots of deep discussions, I put you in contact with you, with what's going on with your barriers so that you get that lampshade off your head and you go, oh my God, is it any wonder this has been happening? Is it any wonder? And we also do deep healing, energetic, quanta, freedom healing, getting your traumas out, bringing source in, which is you're unlocking your expansion, your freedom, your emancipation to start flowing towards the things that your heart desires, which are your truest and highest and best self, which are the real you. It will start happening as a result of doing this workshop together. And then I can teach you how you can take this further. I'm going to show you how you can take this further. So again, I'm going to put up that link. We're going to put up the link, and I'm going to tell you it's You Can Thrive program You Can Thrive program.com/beyond abuse. Beyond abuse. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to answer any questions that you might have. But I really want you to, and the other thing is too, please know we're doing big mail out campaigns, going to different places with the Beyond Abuse. We do have a cap on the numbers, and I wanted to put it out to my social media communities. I talked about this workshop on Facebook last week. We had a huge uptake. So grab your spot. Please grab your spot. Okay. So that you know you're going to get a bum on your seat in this virtual webinar, because I can only have a certain amount so that we can have interaction. Yeah. Casey, you're so welcome sharing my story with you. I'm totally happy to share it. There's so much to that story. That was like the condensed version. But, you know, I'd rather talk about you guys, to be honest. You know, this is about you. Yeah, lucid heart. I used to think he was my twin flame, but now I know it was a false flame and oh so painful. Glad to have NARP lifesaver. I have a huge take on twin flames and soulmates. I believe many narcissists are twin flames, and the twin flame experience is to bring us home to loving ourselves. It's the most painful yet transformational experience that you can have. I'm so pleased you're doing NARP. Yes, the narcissist in my life was that as well. Yeah. Is this your first live? Jeff, it is my first live on YouTube. I've done many lives on other platforms, but not on YouTube. So it's exciting. I'm really enjoying this, and thank you for joining me. Going after people, what's your view of narcissistic people going after people with autism? David, I don't have any view on narcissists going after anybody, except other than they're a parasitical being, finding people that they can mine to fulfill their own agendas and energy system, no matter who that person is. Yeah, I'm still healing with NARP. I have the ability to look forward and experience joy, but I'm still with the NARC and experience pain. Do I join this? I would really probably come for a look. I don't know enough about your experience. I really don't. I'd be interested to know why you're still there and if you need to stay there. What happens do they get healed too, or can we be free from them? Truth Seeker, the twin flame, if they're a narcissistic individual, no, they're not going to heal. And we have to always make it about self. You know, what other people choose to do with the opportunity and their experiences is their responsibility, and it's not ours. And if we focus on that, making it our responsibility, then we deny ourselves our own love and healing back to wholeness. Make it all about you. All right. Can younger men and older women relationship work, such as 10 years apart in age? Absolutely, Susie. Why not? Love is unconditional. All right. All right. I'm just looking if there's... Casey, you're going to come into the workshop. That's awesome. I'm so glad you've got a spot in there. You know, and I just want to tell everybody again, if this sounds like you, even if, you know, look, if you're still in the pain, go to melanietoniaevans.com/free webinar. I cannot recommend that enough. Or if you're really ready to start your deeper inner healing, go to NARP, read the testimonies, have a look at it. You know, it's all fully guaranteed. There's no risk in you trying it. The support systems that come with it are world-class, are incredible. We have thousands of people from over 120 different countries that are connected in NARP, doctors, psychiatrists, therapists from all over the world recommend it to people. It's, you know, humbly, I do believe the most successful narcissistic abuse recovery program on the planet. And many people have reported that. And I do say that humbly. So you're in good hands. All right. I don't think you saw. Oh, okay. Casey, can narcissism be taught, learned, or genetic? All of the above. It can be nature and nurture, or both. Christopher, your wife is 26 years younger than you. Fair enough. I don't believe love is. I don't believe there are limits on love or barriers. Tara, you've been following me for 3 years. That's awesome. I'm so pleased. Thank you for being a part of this wonderful community. All right. So, do we have any other questions specifically? Did that make sense to you about the internal barriers? Does it make sense about, we can want something so much and we can struggle and we can try so hard. That was me. I'm not a lazy person. I'm highly motivated. But yet it was like beating up against a brick wall. And once I found the way to find and remove those barriers and bring source in to replace them, not only did things start happening very quickly, I had the inspiration and the joy, and it was very, very different from my previous law of attraction stuff. My law of attraction stuff used to have to be, I've got to keep visualizing it, I've got to keep meditating, I've got to keep, creating it. But I would always have that feeling inside like, oh God, it hasn't come yet. Or I'm getting disappointed, or where are the signs? Or like I was doubting it and questioning it. This way, it's so cool because you're so inspired and excited about getting into life and doing stuff. You literally don't give a crap that it hasn't turned up yet. You're just having so much energy and presence on the journey. You feel whole before it comes. And then the things that come just add to your wholeness. Like the whole thing is exciting. It's so much better when you do it from the inside out properly. Does that make sense? Peter Kaufman's here. It's been lovely to see you in the community. And I know you've done so well, Peter, with NARP. Like, I'd love you to come into this workshop. I think it's just going to be amazing. How do you get NARP to work, Jay Pinkman? If you get on the program, it's a step-by-step process. You get all of the instructions. All you have to do is follow the instructions. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that's making sense. Yeah, it does. I hope you can feel it cellularly, how I'm describing it to you, because so much of the self-help community stuff is in the head. It has to be embodied. It has to come from the inside out for it to be real. Do you have to release all your trauma? Nick, what an awesome question. No, you don't have to release all of your trauma before you meet somebody. Definitely not. But you have to be committed to that process, because the thing is, once you start dating, you're going to get triggered into some new traumas. Well, they're still old, they're in your body, but you may not have known about them. You're going to get triggered and you're going to have to keep doing the work. Nick, I still do quantum freedom healings to this day. If I'm triggered, I find it, I release it, I bring in source, I evolve, and I transcend beyond that trigger, and I just get more and more authentic, powerful, confident, expansive, and successful in all areas of my life. Oh, gosh. Christopher, I just want you to know, from my heart to yours, you do not have to accept a lesser life. You do not have to stay stuck battling your trauma. You do not have to be separated from what is yours by divine right. All of that is a lie. It's a lie. You can unlock you and what's waiting for you, but you have to be dedicated. You have to be committed. If you don't commit to your inner being, life can't commit to you. Source can't commit to you. Others can't commit to you. Success can't commit to you. It starts between you and you. And then all of it reflects that. Do you understand? Oh, gosh. Hi, Bridget. Call me Tonya. That's so interesting. Okay. Is there any other? What I experienced was cruel. Is there a plan to offer NARP in different languages? Yes, there is down the track. Absolutely. All right. And the thing is, people that are just trying to heal through their head, I did that for so long before I had the breakdown. I'm just going to be strong. I'm going to be positive. I'm better than this. I'm an intelligent woman. Why am I feeling all of this? No. And this is the thing, a lot of us are intelligent with great capacity and everything in our life. We could just get up and make it work, or what we thought was make it work, until narcissistic abuse, and then we just couldn't get up off the ground anymore. But that was by design. Our soul had a perfect plan. Our soul said, okay, you've been doing it this way, but you realize you're running at 10% capacity. You've all heard the expression, we're only using 10% of our brain, because we're not using the subconscious power, the 40 billion bits per second. We've been using the 40 bits per second. This is about engaging your 40 billion bits per second. So I hope that really makes sense. Okay. All right. There's so much more that I'm going to show you in the workshop. So it's all going to make sense. I hope a lot of it's made sense today. Mazil, love to you too, sweetheart. So can I say that again, that you have to commit to you before anything else can happen? Kathleen, that's it. It's the inner work. I did say it. All right. And Mike, my therapist, and I am enjoying your book. Fantastic. Okay. So it takes work. Do you know what? Anything in our life that we wanted to achieve, unless you were just Mozart and a freak, even he worked at it as a little kid, we have to work at it. But what's awesome is when you start getting powerful, real, fast results. The first fast result is you get relief, you get the ability to feel, and you get inspiration and joy. That's what this work brings. So much of the old way of trying to process our junk and fix it was very painful, very heavy, and very re-traumatizing. This is all freeing, inspirational, and exciting. So that's the work that you can get used to doing, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so again, so Beyond Abuse, grab your seat. So it's Melanie Tonia, it's You Can Thrive program / Beyond Abuse. And the rest of you who are not quite ready, either come for a look, but just check out NARP and the free webinar. It's going to be, and then give yourself 3 to 4 to 6 months and you'll be ready to come in here and fly. This is how I look at it. The Beyond Abuse is you've been in the bird hospital, you've mended your wings, you're about ready to flap them, and you're going to learn how to soar. NARP is my wings are broken, I need to go into the bird hospital. Yeah? All right. I love you all so much. Thank you. What an awesome, first YouTube live. I've really enjoyed doing it. I love you all so much. I cannot wait to see you on the 13th and the 14th of this month. We're going to rock it and we're going to unlock you. All right, darling people, you beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thrivers. And I will talk to you again soon. Lots of love. Bye-bye.